Walking through the city, lights all aglow. Everybody's got a story to show. Wheels keep spinning, streets overflow. Hustle never stops, we're in the flow. Skylines high like our dreams in the air. Concrete jungle, we got flair. Rhythm of the night, we don't care. Underneath the stars we breathe rare. In this urban jungle we're alive. Heartbeats echo as we strive. Dreams collide where the streets survive. Together we'll thrive, side by side. Echoes of the past linger near. Future calls, we face it with no fear. Every corner tells a tale so clear. In the city, we chase what we hold dear. Shadows and whispers blend in the night. City's pulse beats with all its might. Lost in the chaos, but it feels right. We rise above, reach new heights. In this urban jungle, we're alive. Heartbeats echo as we strive. Dreams collide where the streets survive. Together we'll thrive, side by side.
And good afternoon, everybody, and we're here for part 2 of the Te Ipu Wai Auraki General Ward. Apologies if I pronounce it right. So these candidates here are vying for one of the 6 ticks you're allowed. If you can put the camera on there, please, Henry. Joy Campbell would be the better one to have them on. But with every election, there's always one thing stepping away, and that is your vote. And let's give everyone a big round of applause. Okay, so we're off for a second start for part 2 of our double debates, because when 22 candidates are standing, we've got to give everyone a good fair chance. And as I say, the opportunity is always there. Let's kick off first with candidates' opening statements. And Ryan, you get to go first with your 1-minute opening statement of why you should receive one of the 6 ticks.
Kia ora koutou. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Ryan Gray. I'm standing for the General Ward in this local body election. I think now is the time to unleash the potential of our beautiful place. I believe in doing the basics brilliantly. I think it's important that we have a council that's unafraid to acknowledge the issues we're facing, but be relentlessly focused on enduring solutions that improve our city for all. As a councillor, I really want to fight for investment into the infrastructure, sports fields and community facilities we need to provide the foundations to help our city thrive. I believe in we need more homes and smarter planning to enable houses for all stages of life. We need to be investigating alternative revenue sources to put downwards pressure on rates. I believe we need to reform dog control rules to improve community safety and reward responsible dog owners with reduced fees. We need to ensure everyone benefits from a growing city. This means more jobs and opportunities to retain and attract talent. With experience in the public, community, and private sector, I know how to deliver and get things done. Vote Brian Gray for a better Rotorua.
Thank you for that. Next up, Brendan.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, everybody. I'm Brendan Davis. I'm going for Rotorua Lakes Council this year. I'm a school teacher, and I've got 30 years business knowledge in hospitality industry. I am passionate about Rotorua, and I believe that council needs a change. It needs someone that can speak and talk practically, look at decisions at different angles, and go out to community and get the voice on community, bring it back to tables and make decisions. I believe in not spending all the money, making financial decisions, sound decisions, linking things to CPI, capping the rates, and securing a city for a better safe environment. This will be in tourism. I'm married with 4 kids. I love Rotorua. I'll do the best for you. I'm honest, integrity, vote Davis.
Thank you for that. Next up, Philly.
Kia ora, my name is Philly Angus, and I would love to represent you on the Rotorua Lakes Council General Ward. Nearly 30 years ago, I moved to Rotorua to pursue a career in broadcasting, and today I work alongside local businesses, providing marketing, event and management services that support and strengthen their success. My experience in leadership and governance with community organisations further strengthen my skill set. I'm an effective communicator with a natural ability to connect with people and build valued relationships. I'm committed to encouraging local business growth. I'll continue to champion sports, tourism, culture, arts and events, key pillars in a vibrant city and a strong local economy. For me, it's all about people, place and purpose. I believe in working with purpose to ensure that every decision is a sensible and prudent one that is made with our people and our place at heart. Having raised 2 wonderful children here in Rotorua with my husband, I am passionate about this city, our people, and building a strong, thriving future for next generations.
Okay, and we got Robert with his opening statement of why he should receive one of the 6 ticks.
Good afternoon. I'm Councillor Robert Lee. I've just completed my first term on this general ward. I'm also putting my hand up for the mayoralty, so 2 opportunities to vote for me there. So I'm really concerned that we've had a rates increase over the last 3 years of around 32%, and at the same time inflation's only gone up 14%, which is quite a lot. But nevertheless, it's not sustainable to carry on having rates rises more than double the amount of inflation. This is unsustainable. There's only so much blood that can be extracted from the stones. So I support the rates capping. That is a central government proposal. I also support the removal of the so-called 4 well-beings from the purpose of the Local Government Act, because that's going to force councils to focus on the must-haves, not the would-like-to-haves.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, now let's get off to the box question. So, because of budget cuts and volunteers and having to run things on the smell of an oil rag, today I'm going to be both Selwyn Too Good and Tenaka Kabushia. So you're going to have me doing both roles, because sometimes it's what you're going to do. So candidates will still pick questions between box number 1 and box number 28, but I have kept them right here. Now, all candidates get given 2 button cards or 1 defer card. Metaphorically speaking, they're there, but I will still record a tally of what it is, because even when you got the physical cards, you still got to do it, because some people just keep butting in. So each candidate gets 2 button cards and 1 defer card, and we'll use our random list order generator to decide which round the questions will go. And Ryan, you get to go first. What box number between 1 and 28? And you can use Te Reo Māori or English with your box numbers.
Number 12.
Number 12. Okay, we have L for Lima. What are your priorities for maintaining and improving our roads, footpaths, and public transport connections?
I thought I'd start with a fun fact here. Did you know that when footpaths are maintained, they're only maintained to the standard that they were built? That's despite our understanding about what we need in footpaths and cycleways moving so much in the kind of time that they were built. An important consideration that isn't considered now, wasn't considered when roads were built, that should be considered now, is especially on accessibility. That means ensuring that footpaths are wide enough to enable people that are in wheelchairs to get past people on bikes, electric scooters, and people that are walking. So an important priority to me is understanding is to ensure that a place-based approach to maintenance and investment is to ensure that the footpaths and roads meet current and future users. This means safe walking and cycleways to allow people to navigate a city as they want to. Roads must be regularly maintained to reduce overall costs.
Okay, thank you for that. Robert, what box number?
Oh, 22.
22. Thanks for choosing my birthday. So that's always a good one. And the other day to remember it by is Labour Day, as my mum got to experience being in Labour on Labour Day. And yes, unfortunately, yes, being born late, you end up landing on a public holiday.
It's my birthday as well, actually, the 22nd of August.
Oh, you're August. Oh, I'm October, but yes. But that's all right. Oh, so that means that, yeah, there's a 2-month gap. Okay, we got M for Mudupara. Do you support reviewing council spending priorities before turning to further rates increases?
Well, there's a question up my alley, of course. One of the areas where a lot of money is being spent, and I find it pretty troubling, is in some of the mayor's established about a dozen committees, a total of 30 committees, but there's about a dozen committees that actually are actively involved in managing ratepayers' assets and spending ratepayers' money. So that's the first place I'll be going to review whether or not these committees ought to exist or whether they ought to exist in the current form. But to just give you some examples, there's one committee that had a budget of $10 million that was put into the long-term plan over the next 10 years. And that particular committee, that was never approved by our elected members, even though our mayor was elected on a platform of stop the spend. So that's where I want to start digging to save ratepayers' money.
Well, 30 committees does sound like a lot. Yeah. Okay, Brendan, what box number?
2.
Number 2. Okay, and we've got G for geyser, because it's a lot better than golf. Okay, ignore the top part of the question. Okay, how will you keep rates fair and affordable while meeting environmental and infrastructure obligations?
Again, it's all about smarter spending. It's controlling what we spend and what we spend on. No nice haves. Back to the basics. Weigh out new projects that are on the line and ensure that it's affordable and it's fair to ratepayers. I think this council has gone along and spent things without actually doing due diligence, and that's what needs to be done with every project. Every project needs to be looked at, and it needs to be also communicated to the community what is happening and why we're spending it. Once we get the feedback from them, then we need to go over again and discuss it. I think it's just being practical, prioritizing it, and making good sense of it, that you're not spending money that is not your money to spend. And that's what I would do. Vote for Davis. Perfect. Okay, Philly, what box number?
We'll go with number 1, so people vote Philly Angus first.
Oh, it's don't think we use STV here, but I do like the concept.
But first tick.
First tick. Oh, well, that's a good way of putting it. Yes. I was trying to think, I voted in STV, but I do live in Te Whanganui, Tara, Wellington.
All our ticks either.
That is true. Yes. You just make sure you don't put too many in there, otherwise they don't know where to assign the ticks to.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got U for uniform. How will you embrace kaitikaitanga? Apologies if I pronounce that wrong. Principles.
Kaitiakitanga.
Kaitiakitanga. Yep. Principles in council's climate action, water management, and biodiversity. You can tell I definitely don't write the questions.
Okay. Well, we all have a responsibility to our environment and practicing these principles, and it makes us all caretakers. Embedding these principles makes our guardianship of our environment a guiding principle, not just a box tick. And climate action, that means planning with future generations in mind, and water management, that means protecting the health of our lakes and our rivers and our aquifers through sustainable use and strong partnership with iwi. By weaving these principles into every strategy, we protect our treasures, our fauna, while building a stronger, more resilient Rotorua for future generations.
Okay, can I ask you to pull the plug out of your microphone and put it back in, because
I
that's...
thought it was a bit cracked. I was a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, would you like to restart that answer?
Did you not get any of it?
Oh, no, we got that. It was just
Okay.
jumping in and out, and it was like, but if you want to, we can go again.
That's all right. I think people got my main message.
Perfect.
Do you think
perfect.
or no?
I don't know. Let's put up the mic and we'll hear it now and see if we got the
I think
main...
we're good now.
Oh, yes, perfect. Yeah, just need to be unplugged and replugged in. God, that sounds like a computer solution. Did you unplug it and plug it back in? Okay. Okay. We are off for a new new round. Phil, you to go first. What box number?
We'll go with 21.
21. Oh yes, the good old voting age of 1949, when my grandparents were brand new school teachers. Okay, we got K for Kumra. What is your view on co-governance arrangements for natural resources and council services?
Well, I support co-governance as it strengthens how we care for our natural resources, lakes, rivers and forests, of course. Iwi bring deep cultural knowledge and responsibility, and working together helps ensure a sustainability for future generations. For council services, the focus must stay on fairness, accountability, and delivering for the whole community, while building partnerships that add value and reflect our shared responsibilities. We all have a part to play.
Okay, now we have Button from Robert.
Yes, I'd like to butt in on that one. I'm a wee bit more sceptical when it comes to co-governance, because the more co-governance you have, the less democracy you have. And I'm of the view that while councils can require you to pay your rates, that money comes with strings attached. And the strings that are attached is that the people get to choose who spends their money. So when unelected people are involved in spending ratepayers' money, they make decisions that aren't necessarily in the best interests of the district. In fact, it's only the elected members that make a declaration at the start of each term that they will act in the best interests of the district. So co-governance has been an interesting experiment over the last decade or so. It received a lot of opposition initially when it came in. We now have the benefit of hindsight. Co-governance can be extraordinarily expensive. There was $7 million that we just wrote off a couple of months ago in relation to a co-governed project that ended up failing.
Okay, next up, Brendan, what box number?
8, please.
8.
Is
No.
this working? Oh.
Okay, we got J for Juliet. How will you improve transparency in how rates are set and how council money is spent?
That's a very good question, and I think it's a question a lot of the residents would like to know. You know, we get a report from the council, and can you read the council? Can normal people read that? Can they read an accounts? No, they can't. It's very difficult. And they're looking at it, whichever way you look at it, from an accountancy point of view or a business point of view, it's complicated. We need to really, really make it simple and clear, and report where every dollar goes, not just what we see on the books. As people have highlighted, there's other council groups that have access to spending money. This should not be happening. Everything needs to go to the councillors. The councillors need to have the last say, and they need to be really scrutinizing and microscoping every penny that's spent there. And I think having a good conversation with the CEO and making it understandable so all residents can understand what's going on.
Okay. Ryan, what box number?
13.
13. Okay, the good old unlucky 13 or lucky 13, depending which one it is. We got E for Echo. What does good local representation mean to you, and how will you make sure residents feel engaged and informed throughout your term?
Look, too often when it comes to local election time, you get candidates pop up who haven't been visible in the community in the 3 years in between. They seem to pop up every 3 years and go, "Oh, vote for me." Now I want to know what you. Now I want to know what you think about things. If I'm elected, that changes. I want to ensure that people can get me on the phone, can email me and expect a response. I'm already active on social media and I'm engaging with people through that forum, and that won't stop if I'm elected. As a council, I want to establish regular opportunities to meet with locals throughout the community to ensure decision making reflects the real needs of our community. As I mentioned, I'm one of the few people that's already engaging through social media, and that's definitely not going to stop.
Okay, you're going to use up your second button, Robert.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I think engagement with the community is really important, and I think I hold the most engaged social media accounts, particularly on Facebook. So I'm regularly posting about what's happening on Facebook on council. Can't tell you how many coffees I've gone out with various constituents who've had various issues navigating the pathways of council, and I can say it's also been very helpful when constituents with issues have emailed council and copied me in. That seems to have a good way of getting a result out of council. But I've also championed various major causes, including the Lakeland Queen, Springfield Golf Course, the Tarawera Reticulation Scheme, Rotorua Reticulation Scheme, to get the best results that we can for the community. I'm here to act in the best interests of the community, not the best interests of the council organisation.
Sounds a bit like they also do the unwritten rule here of if you've got a submission and you want your councillors to get it in advance of the councillors, you CC the submission in so the councillors get more than that 2-day window to know what you're saying.
Well, we get a 7-day window, but
you're a lot better than Wellington.
Yes, that was one innovation that we got through this term, which was very helpful for elected members.
Oh God, yes. Now, well, tradition with it's in the ballot, once you finish a button, usually the candidate is the next person to pick a box number. What box number?
Let's go for number 7, shall we?
Go for number 7. Yes, remember not to put 7 ticks on your ballot paper if you want your vote to be counted. Okay, we got P for Papa. What role should council play in protecting natural areas and biodiversity while supporting economic growth?
Yeah, well, this one brings to mind my efforts with the Lakeland Queen, because, I mean, that's a great ecotourism venture which can take upwards of 100, almost 200 people on board for a trip around our beautiful lake in the middle of our beautiful caldera, with the best views in town, frankly, and people take only photos and don't even leave footprints. So the difficulty they have had in getting back on the water has been considerable, and I'm talking about both the previous owners and the new owners, and council's processes should simply not be that difficult to navigate. And unfortunately they are. There's probably issues there in the district plan, there's issues within the culture of the organisation, and there's broader issues as well. But that's just one example of how we can promote economic growth while preserving our biodiversity.
Okay, now we've got 8 questions down. Let's get off to a new round. Ryan, what box number? 17. Oh yes, good old age. You can join the army. Well, actually, all of the militaries actually, but the army is the one that everyone seems to think of. I for India. How can the council contribute to civil defence and emergency management in your area?
Benjamin Franklin said something along the lines of not having a plan is planning for failure. We need to ensure that we're planning well to prepare the Rotorua for any kind of civil defence emergencies that are likely to come our way. This means partnering with the likes of the regional council, iwi and other community groups to ensure that they know what to do when emergencies strike. Climate change is real and it's happening, and it's having a vast effect on our weather right now. So we're only going to see more flooding and serious incidents into the future. Rotorua is surrounded by pine tree forests. What's the plan if a fire catches on? I've heard that we only have about 3 days of food in Rotorua if the roads stop. These things need to be planned for and prepared for. That means making proper investments into both the human resources and the physical infrastructure to make sure Rotorua is ready for whatever's coming our way.
You start learning some new things every day. Brendan, what box number?
15.
15. Oh yes, who got their driver's license at age 15?
Yep.
Yep, same with me here.
Straight out of the Weet-Bix packet.
I was going to say, it was literally had to wait for my passport to arrive to use for ID for it, and literally less than a week got the learner's license. Yeah, because my first passport, my first driver's license were issued around the same point. And it's quite funny, both my passport and my current driver's license expire within a week of each other. Yeah. Okay, we got T for Tauranga. How would you balance long-term asset renewal with keeping rates manageable?
Unfortunately, this is all to do with financial planning. It's prioritizing vital renewals, things that need to be on top of the list, and protecting those renewals, spreading investment over time so that essential services are maintained without affecting the rates. And I think when, like everything in the council, it has to be back to the rates. That's what people are all on about. So you need to be looking at rates. What's this going to do to the rates? What percentage of rates is going to put up? And then make a decision. But keeping those vital ones that need to be done first, getting them out of the way. And then if we have more money to invest, or we can get some partnerships, that's what we do. We invest it. And just practical accountancy. Both Davis. Thank you.
Okay. Philly, what box number?
28.
28. Okay, we got in for November. How will you ensure safe, reliable drinking water and wastewater services for our growing population?
Well, government's local water done well reforms will see council retain responsibility for these services. That means that we need to be investing wisely in modern, resilient infrastructure, maintaining higher standards, and plan for upgrades before problems arrive. This is also our biggest decision that is coming to council in this coming term around the CCO organisation. So we need to properly investigate that CCO option and engage with community and iwi around the most appropriate model for our district, while keeping conversations with other districts open and transparent also. We've had significant investment leading up to this point in our water, and we need to ensure that we're not picking up the tab in other areas if we do go into a collaboration with them that haven't been so active with their water services. Protecting water quality is about public health, it's about our environment, it's about our future, and it's about our well-being. We must be ensuring that we are making the best decision around this matter.
Okay, thank you for that. Robert, what box number?
How about number 2?
Unfortunately, it's taken, but we can take number 3.
Good enough.
And if you're on the Māori roll, that's how many ticks you put on your ballot paper. Okay, we got V for victory because only, achieving the seats. Do you support stronger policies to reduce emissions from council operations and projects?
No. I don't see any great benefit in costing our ratepayers more money to achieve essentially no outcome. I mean, when you haven't got the 4 largest countries in the world signed up to the Paris Agreement, USA, China, India, Soviet Union, then even if New Zealand were to sink under the waves, we're not going to make a difference. And here in little old Rotorua, we're not going to make a difference either. We're in economic hard times at the moment. We cannot be throwing we can't be making life more difficult for our ratepayers, and that would even include as it applies to the dump fees, which is where some of the extra costs are being added on.
Okay, and we have a button from Ryan.
It's a bit of a sad indictment on our city when a mayor of our city says that the environment doesn't matter, that we don't have, that we have no place to play at all. I think that's really sad, Robert. Yes, we are a small player, but we all need to do our bit. You say it costs us money. Let's say when we built the Sir Howard Morrison Centre, we put solar panels on top. Those solar panels will be paying the electricity bills for that building. Energy Event Centre, the exact same situation. And you're saying that we just shouldn't bother? That's completely beyond me. I'm a little bit speechless that a mayor of our city thinks the environment doesn't matter. Our water levels are rising, our lake levels are rising, and we're just going to go, oh, whatever, nothing we can do. Have a nice day. I'm shocked, Robert.
I'm not the mayor yet, but if you want to pay for that luxury, then vote.
Sorry,
vote for Ryan.
sorry. I want to be mayor.
Okay, we've 12 questions down. Philly, what box number?
Let's go with 27. Is that still available?
Yeah, 27, that's still available. Just unplug your mic and plug it back in because I think it will reset the connection. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna do
I don't know, it's like got gremlins in it.
All right.
Okay, let's try now, yeah.
What letter are we doing?
We're doing S for sulfur.
Maybe I've got sulfur in my mind.
How will you help the ward adapt to climate change impacts like flooding, drought, or rising temperatures?
Through resilient infrastructure, so stronger stormwater systems, reliable water supplies, and greener urban spaces to help reduce that heat that we will be anticipating. Wetlands to manage flood and protect water quality also, and making decisions that are sensible and future focused so that our city grows. We also need to be ensuring that we're building a community that's safe and sustainable and ready for those challenges with the changing weather and what that brings for us. So, yeah.
Okay, Ryan, what box number?
30 left.
Still got quite a few.
14.
Yes, we've got 14. I don't know what's important about that number, but it's a number. Okay, we got Y for, was it Yankee? What opportunities do you see for iwi and hapu partnerships in major council projects?
Put simply, Rotorua wouldn't exist without the generosity of iwi and hapu. It's entirely appropriate that iwi and hapu aspirations are considered when planning major projects. Iwi and hapu should be engaged throughout major projects on their rohi, and opportunities for appropriate cultural storytelling throughout design. Ultimately, this isn't a question for me, it's a question for iwi and hapu to understand how their aspirations can be represented in council projects.
Okay, and we have a button from Brendan.
So just go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, is it working?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He's just moving the camera over.
All right. So, yeah, no, I think it's very important that we look at this. Iwi and Hapu, they play a very important role. This is Rotorua. It's, it's a couple of Maridom, basically. It's also the greatest tourism and greatest revenue we can bring into this city. So we need to harness it into tourism and actually be proud of it and actually put it on the stage. I remember I was talking 3 years ago at a tourism venture, and I stated that there was nothing happening on Waitangi Day. Why was that? The mayor came over to me, I think it was Chadwick at the time, and said, listen, that was great ideas. And after that, they started putting, Waitangi Day, they started putting boats on the water, they started having market days, all the things I had said they should do. That's the kind of thing we do. We need to bring business in here on those days and really embrace the Maridom so that we can push Rotorua to being the jewel that it should be in tourism. So, yeah.
Okay. Brendan, what box number?
15.
I'm sorry that's taken, but we can give you the current driver's license age of 16, or we can go down as low as 11.
Oh, let's have 11. Legs 11. Do you all know legs 11?
Okay, we got H for hotel. Do you support exploring alternative funding sources to reduce pressure on ratepayers?
Of course, anything that's going to take the pressure up our rates, especially central government has to play a role here. I think the central government has put a lot of pressure on Rotorua, and we need to get that back as in dollar signs. So I'll be pushing the government to actually support things here to complement what they did to Rotorua with COVID and all the housing problems. So I think partnerships, user pay models, I will look at them as long as it's not going to be too taxing on the residents. Innovation funding tools and reduce pressure on ratepayers. That's the main thing. So I think there's a lot of scope there, but I think it's looking at smarter ways to invest in our city. And as I said, central government is the key, and having conversations with them will be very nice. Both Davis.
Okay, Robert, what box number?
How's number 17?
Unfortunately taken. You can
Well-
get the voting age at 18. Or you
Okay,
can go,
let's do 18.
okay, we got Q for Queen Elizabeth II. How will you ensure that Māori heritage and wahitapu are protected in urban development projects?
Slightly leading question there, but that's okay. I recall earlier this year, there was a particular hapu who took offence to the Tarawera reticulation scheme coming through past their lake, Raitakahi. So that was unfortunately litigated through the courts. It was a situation where local iwi asserted the right of veto over council developments on behalf of the community. The court found that the hapu didn't actually enjoy right of veto. Obviously, we need to maintain good convivial relationships with iwi and then with hapu, but we can't be held to ransom by them, and we can't let the ratepayers be held to ransom by them.
Thank you for that. Okay, we are 16 questions down in another round. Ryan, what box number?
23.
23? Yep, we can do that.
Feels good. I can take them off.
Okay, we got A for athletics. Do you support political party endorsements of local government candidates?
Ultimately, it's a question for each individual candidate if they wish to be endorsed or seek endorsement from a political party. For myself, I stand strongly as an independent candidate. The only group that I am beholden to for how I vote, if I'm lucky enough to become a councillor, is to the people of Rotorua. In some ways, the political parties can play a role in boosting voter turnout. For example, if you kind of said that you really love the ACT Party, you're going to draw ACT Party voters and turn everybody off, and vice versa. But ultimately, it's a decision for each individual candidate.
Okay, Brendan, what box number?
I've got both that one, but I won't. 28.
28's gone. We got 26. Okay, we got AA for AA batteries. How would you ensure the housing growth is affordable, sustainable, and supported by the right infrastructure? AA, so it'll be down the bottom after Z. Yes, it's yeah.
Next page.
Just above the hard hitting questions.
You might have to wing it. We can ensure the housing growth is affordable.
Okay, so how to ensure housing growth is affordable, sustainable, and supported. It's planning for growth. I think this council has actually gone a bit too far in its developments. And I think first thing was taking us off the accelerated growth. I think we need to take us off that. I don't believe Rotorua is going to grow that great, and I'd like to see and revisit those numbers because I believe they're wrong. So as well as that, getting developers to contribute with infrastructure costs, and ensuring new housing areas are safe and not just putting where there's rivers coming along. We have a big flooding history in Rotorua, which seems to be ignored by councillors, by the government, everybody. So, vote Davis.
Okay. And next up, Robert, what box number?
Gosh, what's left? House 23?
Unfortunately taken, but you can have 24. There's
Excellent.
also the old drinking age of 20.
I'll stick with 24, thanks.
24?
Couple dozen eggs, yep.
Oh, I like that one. That's something a bit different. Okay, we got F for Foxtrot. Okay, do you support strengthening iwi partnership and ensuring council's decisions reflect Te Tiriti principles?
Great question for me. Section 4 of the Local Government Act talks about the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi, and in particular it talks about the Crown's responsibilities to comply with the various principles of the treaty, which includes the principle of partnership. Unfortunately, for those who support iwi partnerships, that's the Crown's obligations, not Council's obligations. Councils were never signatories to the treaty, nor are councils part of the Crown. So we don't actually have any, as a council, legal or other duties to enter into these partnerships. And in fact, Section 10 of the Local Government Act talks about the purpose of the Local Government Act, which is to enable democratic decision making. That means decisions ought to be made by the democratically elected mayor and councillors, not other people who haven't been elected but have been co-opted onto committees.
Okay, we've got a button from Ryan.
Again, I love it when Councillor Robert Lee decides to give a legal opinion on things. This is the guy who tried to take the council to court after or before the previous election, and then withdrew it and had to spend $30,000 in legal costs back to council. So yeah, your interpretation of existing laws probably isn't the one that I would recommend that people follow. The Local Government Act does ensure that we need to ensure that Māori they participate in decision making. How that's structured, I think, is really important. And I think it's just rude to the forefathers of our city. You know, it's essential that we honour Te Aroha and respect their ongoing role in shaping our city. This council has a number of forums where iwi voices are heard, from the Te Aroha committee to Māori wards to the Gifted Reserves Committee. I think it's important that we ensure that these are actually working well to enable them to participate in decision making appropriately.
Do I get a right of reply, seeing he mentioned me?
Go ahead. It's not in our format, but I do believe it is warranted.
Yeah, thank you. Ryan referred to the litigation that I brought in 2022 that would have given voters enrolled on the Māori roll a vote that was worth 2.5 votes. It was an attempt to steal democracy from Rotorua, and I'm very pleased to have done my part to defend democracy in Rotorua, and I'm pleased to say that our council withdrew that bill from Parliament, and we continue to have democracy in this town today because of those efforts.
Well, thanks for some of that clarification of what piece of legislation it was about. I do remember that bill going through Parliament. Yeah. Philly, what box number?
Has 9 gone?
No, it hasn't.
Let's do 9.
Okay, we got X for X-ray. What actions would you take to ensure Māori housing aspirations are included in the district plan and future developments?
Well, I fully support.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right, I probably got there you go. I support policies.
Swap mics. Swap mics and restart the timer.
Thank you, Brian. I support policies that make it easier for Māori housing aspirations to be realised through the district plan and future developments. That means working alongside iwi and hapu to identify suitable land, reducing the red tape around housing, and ensuring that planning rules reflect cultural values as well as being practical in those needs. Also about partnerships that bring together council, iwi and government, so investment supports whānau in housing on Māori land.
Okay. And we've, was it off to another round? Philly, you to go first. And can you grab the neighbour's mic because that's much better.
Let's go with 16. Is 16?
Yes,
Thank
16 is still there, the current driver's license age. And we got R for Rotorua. Do you support investment in better stormwater systems to reduce flooding risks?
I feel like these questions are slightly repetitive, but that's okay. Yes, I fully invest in better stormwater systems. They're essential in protecting our homes, businesses, and our infrastructure as Rotorua grows and our weather continues to provide more challenges for us. We've had key areas in Rotorua affected by flooding with local homes. The likes of Nongataha, having to deal with that. And I did have something else to add, but it slipped off one of my pieces of paper. So I'll just scan through because I couldn't remember all my answers. But it's not just about pipes and drains. It's also about how we look after our environment, looking at installing more wetlands into our ecosystem, because wetlands provide nature's flood protection. They soak up stormwater, they reduce flooding risks, and of course they improve water quality at the same time.
Okay, Brendan, what box number? Yes, we still got 10. Okay, we got D for Delta. What does genuine Te Tiriti partnership look like to you, and how would you advocate for it at the council table?
Well, Te Tiriti, it's all about partnership, but it's also about sharing decision making. So basically, it's about giving Maori a voice. I believe everyone has a voice. I think everyone needs a voice, and I think respecting their voice is fair enough. I think you have to go to the community and listen to everybody. And I think having a place where they can give their voice is fair enough. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. Ryan, what box number?
Is there any left? 27?
No, but we can do 25. The age your car insurance excess gets reduced at.
I remember that day fondly. Yes,
Yes,
25 sounds good.
Yeah, yes, I remember when my excess went from $800 to $300. Okay. We got W for Whakatane. What experience or skills do you bring to ensure sound financial governance and decision making?
I have business experience, both operating my own, along with working in operations and management in an NZX listed company. I chair a charitable trust dealing in a multi-million-dollar project. Ultimately, I think that the councillors need to understand the numbers to make the best decisions in the interests of our city.
Okay. Robert, what box number?
Yeah, I think number 20 is still available, is it?
Yes, number 20, the old drinking age, is
Yep.
still available. Don't know why that one sticks to my head, because apparently it was a voting age for a very, very short period of time as well.
My wife was, my future wife was 19 actually when she came over, so she was fell foul of that law briefly.
It's all right. We got C for Charlie. How will you ensure our community has a strong voice as the government rolls out major reforms such as the Local Government Systems Improvement Amendment Bill and Local Water Done Well?
Well, I do support the system amendment bill. That's the one that's going to remove the 4 well-beings and focus council's attention on the local decision making, democratic. It's important to be able to make submissions to Parliament, submissions that are persuasive. I've done at least 2, if not 3 this year. I'm pleased to see that I did put a submission in about terms being extended from 3 to 4 years. And that seemed essentially my arguments were adopted by the Select Committee, and the Select Committee, I'm sure there are other people making the same arguments, but Those were arguments that were adopted by the select committee, and it looks like there's little support for that. But it's just about knowing how to make submissions to government that are actually effective.
Perfect. And I certainly know we as an organisation also submitted on that select committee as well, and I was the fun part of having to go there and do it in person.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got another round. Brendan, what box number?
What's left?
4, 5, 6, or 19?
Let's take 19.
19. Yes, the age that has no use whatsoever. Okay, we got Z for Zulu. What are your thoughts on rate capping?
Rate capping, I'm all for rate capping. That's what will be focusing on if I get to council. I'll be capping the rates to the CPI. People need to know that the rates are not going to go up financially way too much than they have in the last 6 years. So that's a priority of mine, is to work on the capping up the rates. I know people may be worried that this may change the balance of the books, that we might have to do user pays, but I'm not really keen on user pays. We'll look at other issues rather than user pays. There is other things to get more revenue into the city, and that's what I'll be looking at in a tourism way. So yeah, it's keeping rates fair and sustainable, and making sure that residents are, they have safety and understanding that the council is doing the best for them. In their interest, the whole interest of the whole place. That's it.
And we've got a button from Philly.
Capping rates sounds great on paper, but at what cost? We really need to explore what that fallout from rates capping would mean to our city. What other costs we need to be offset to cover that gap, which would probably see an increase in user pay facilities, including community facilities like the Aquatic Centre and also the library. Rates capping also removes the control from us on a local level. I believe the Rotorua Lakes Council can focus on rates affordability without heading down the rates capping path and being dictated to us by central government.
Okay. Ryan, what box number? 4, 5, or 6?
6.
Let's go for 6. Okay, we got O for... Was it first name? It comes to my head as a Potiki, but if you've got an O that's a bit closer, feel free to use it. Do you support borrowing to fund major infrastructure, or should we focus on a pay-as-you-go model?
Pay-as-you-go would be interesting, because that would probably increase rates by thousands every single year if we wanted to pay for it. I kind of think it should be a mixture of the two. Infrastructure which benefits multiple generations should be paid for by multiple generations, and debt is the best way to achieve exactly that. The cheapest way to invest is today. Costs go up. I mean, to the last question around the rates cap, if we cap rates the price of inflation, that wouldn't consider that building costs go up 30% every year. Wouldn't include that bridge building costs have gone up 60%. So we need to ensure that when we invest today for tomorrow.
Okay, Robert, what box number? 4 or 5?
5.
Okay, and we got B for Bravo. How would you stand up for your community interests if it differs from your own position?
I've had a number of constituents come to us with issues that I don't agree with, but that doesn't stop me from giving them the best advice I can as to how to navigate council's processes so that they can make the best case they can for whatever it is that they wish to pursue. One of the things that I managed to get across the line this term was opening up the public forum, which was a part of our standing orders, but not a part of our agenda, and it just hasn't been a part of Rotorua Council's agenda ever. But that allows anybody, any member of the public, to come along and make their case and present an issue to council. I've also helped people put together a number of petitions. Once again, they get the opportunity to make their case in front of all of the councillors, and that's a way that we can get the ball rolling. Whatever your view, I'm going to support you through your democratic processes to make your best case.
Okay. And Philly, you can choose box 4. What box number would you like?
Could I please have box 4?
Box 4, no problem. Now, I'm not sure, there has been a slight modification to the sheet that shouldn't have happened, but in the original list that should have gone out, for AB, it had, how will you support Māori economic development and local businesses in the region? But I'm not sure if that ended up on the run, because I realised there was a copy and pasting error between when the sheet was made and the sheet was sent, and after the sheet was sent out, because you know how we do live sheets here.
I understand that. I didn't see that update.
Okay,
But I can speak to it.
sweet.
Yeah. So encouraging Māori economic development. Is that the question?
Yes.
I just can't see it on the screen, so I just want
No
to make
problem.
sure that I've got it. Oh, you haven't got it either?
No, because the
Oh,
slide...
we're
the
both
slide
flying
was
off the
given.
seat of our cuff and, you
Yes.
know, okay, that's all good. Rotorua is so rich in phenomenal Rotorua businesses. We just have to look around our CBD. We just have to look at our tourist industry here, and people doing amazing stuff for Māoridom, which is brilliant. In fact, I was invited to Te Puia on Saturday night and attended Marama, which is a amazing collaboration between natural environment in the Whakarewa Thermal Village. Also, Te Puia also has that biodiversity with the brown kiwi that they supporting there. And then, of course, the economic development, they're adding this another attraction that is going to be seeing our manahiri and our locals being able to enjoy a fantastic evening experience, enjoying Maisie Rika music, beautiful laser show through that geothermal area. So I really believe that that economic development with Māori is really, really strong here in Rotorua, and definitely something that we should be supporting and ensuring that that growth rises, because when we have business growth and economic development, our whole community is buoyed and lifted up, and that's got to be good for people, it's got to be good for place, and it's got to be good for purpose. So yeah, love it.
Perfect. Okay, candidates. Now, we normally take a half an hour break here, but do we take not half an hour break, a 10-minute break? Yeah. Or should we roll straight into hard-hitting questions?
I think we can roll straight through. I'm happy to roll straight through.
Couple minute break, 5-minute break. I'd like to take a
Need to head to
pit
the...
stop if I may.
Okay, Henry, are you able to put on the break slide back, and we'll be back in 10 minutes' time for hard-hitting questions? You'll have to put that on XSplit, not on... Wrong screen. No.
That one?
Yeah, it's on XSplit. Yep, there's an air brake option. Yeah, and then select one.
And what we want to do here is we want to for candidates to introduce themselves. So do we have a preferred? Who should we start off with? I'll tell you what. Let's start with. Have we got the Prime Minister?
Just a short little breather to stretch out your legs. You don't need a leader. The live stream will be back, so don't go too far. But for now, you can wander wherever you are. Intermissions aren't really a thing anymore, but we think they're cool, a tradition to adore. A moment to breathe, have a laugh, maybe chat. There's magic in breaks, and we're keeping that. Head to the lobby, your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Get to the lobby, your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. Your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed. We'll resume on a dime. short little breather to stretch out your legs. You don't need a leader. The live stream will be back, so don't go too far. But for now you can wander wherever you are. Intermissions aren't really a thing anymore, but we think they're cool, a tradition to adore. A moment to breathe, have a laugh, maybe chat. There's magic in breaks, and we're keeping that. Head to the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed, we'll resume on a dime. Your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed, we'll resume on a dime. Into the lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed, we'll resume on a dime. The lobby, I mean your kitchen with glee, for snacks that are tasty and drinks. Maybe 3. Fill up your plate, pour a glass, take your time, then come back refreshed, we'll resume on a dime.
Oh shit, don't panic, but it's almost time to get back to the show. The candidates have stretched their legs, been partying, taking a break. Cause there's still hard-hitting questions, closing statements and stuff you wanna know. So grab those snacks for the answers and prep for decisions you need to make. Oh, 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 oh. The candidates have stretched their leg. The candidates have stretched their legs, been partying, taking a break. Closing statements and stuff you wanna know. So grab the snack you wanna know. So grab those snacks and the answers and prep for decisions you need to make. Oh, 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 oh. was a question, because every candidate has answered the hard-hitting questions.
The mute key on the stream deck or somewhere? I don't know. Paul's just messaged me there's no audio coming through.
Oh.
And that's why I was thinking it was the mute key on the computer. That's good. Okay.
Maybe he needs to
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. He's now messaging me back. It's coming through now. Okay, Brendan, let's start again. Okay, can you restart the timer?
Okay, thank you. As I just said, I didn't get this question, but anyway, here we go. In 3 years' time, I would like to see Rotorua with a big tourism coming in. We've sorted out the homeless problem. This is one of the key issues. Nothing is going to succeed in Rotorua unless we sort out the homelessness, because we won't have tourists, we got homelessness. We won't have a clean city. We won't have a safe city. They're the things we need to be working on. We need to be safe to come into town for older people, for the younger people at night time to enjoy and party, and we need to have a good community that is feeling safe and vibrant. So we have this. We'll have restaurants, people eating out at restaurants at night time, and people coming to the city on the weekends, and domestic tourism will be right up there, and Rotorua will be the jewel that it should be. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Robert.
What does success look like for this ward? Well, I don't really think in terms of success for the ward so much as success for the whole council. I think one of the things this particular term has done reasonably well is we've maintained convivial relationships despite there being some differences of ideologies and perspectives. So that will be a mark of success. It'll be great to see low rates that we've managed to keep to inflation. That would be a marker of success, as will Rotorua heading in the direction of becoming the best version of us that we can be.
Okay, Philly.
For me, success after 3 years looks like our people, place, purpose, going back to that, people, our community feel listened to and they feel connected with what's happening in council for them, that they feel safe, supported and proud to call Rotorua home. Housing is more affordable, services are reliable and there's more opportunities for local jobs, and our community wellbeing is strong. Our place, our roads, our footpaths, our public spaces are well maintained, flood risks are better managed, our lakes and our natural environment are cared for, along with having made good decisions around local water done well. Rotorua's culture and heritage are protected and celebrated as we develop as a city, and we're vibrant with events and manahiri, and our communities are thriving. Our business and economic development are strong and going from strength to strength. Our purpose, that council is making disciplined, future-focused decisions, managing finances transparently, and keeping rates fair and affordable for everybody. We're building strong partnerships with iwi, businesses and community groups to grow Rotorua sustainably and ensuring that every decision strengthens our future.
Okay, and Ryan.
You can totally give them
I think success is in council means that when people's rates, when they open up their rates bill, they don't think, not the bloody rates bill again. They actually think, well, you know, I don't like paying rates, but I know that I've got a city that functions well. I know that when I turn the tap, the clean water's going to come out. When I drive down the road, there's not potholes. When I have interactions with council, I know that the consenting system works well, that we're enabling more homes. And speaking of enabling more homes, that's a key part of what we need to do. Cracking down on homelessness by enabling more homes in the right places and ensuring we have government partnerships to provide that wraparound support to actually get people off the streets to enable our businesses to thrive again. A key focus of mine as well is around reforming dog control rules to improve community safety here in Rotorua and reduce costs for people overall.
Okay, so let's get on to hard-hitting question number 2. How will you integrate kaitiakitanga guardianship into regional environmental and land use? Helen, that's the person I can blame for putting that question in there. Robert.
Yeah, thank you. So, if I'm not mistaken, the word kaitiakitanga isn't found in the Local Government Act, so I don't believe we have any specific obligations in that respect. But I am in favour of convivial relationships, and there are things that we may be able to do if we've got committees who have a particular interest in a particular reserve, for example, and we do. There may be opportunities for them to feed back to council with their recommendations as to how best we can assist them in terms of spending money. But that money must and always should be spent by the elected members and not by unelected people co-opted onto these committees.
Okay, Brendan.
Yeah, so the guardianship of the lakes, the rivers, and all that, that's part of Maridom, and it's part of respecting that we are in basically the capital of Maridom, Rotorua, and so that goes hand in hand with decision making, asking people in those groups, those iwis, what they need. We do have a big decision coming up with the wastewater, and we're going to have to engage with iwi to sort out that problem. So that's just part of council. It's part of council life. So it's just a matter of getting those people around the table and coming together with a agreement that works both for all the people and all the residents and all the interested parties. And of course, I'm a fisherman. I want to clean those lakes, I want to clean those rivers, and I want the schools involved and all the young people involved and make Rotorua's waters beautiful and clean. Thank you.
Okay. Philly.
I'd just like to start by saying, just because we don't identify with a word, it doesn't mean that we're not responsible. We are all guardians of our environment and our land use and those decisions that we will be making moving forward. That means protecting our lakes, our forests and our whenua for the long-term health of future generations in mind, not just short-term gains. Iwi and hapu must be genuine partners in planning, bringing Maridom alongside science and community priorities. By weaving it into council strategies, we can balance growth and protection, ensuring that Rotorua develops in a way that honours our environment and celebrates our cultural identity.
Okay. So let's get on to hard-hitting question number. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. No, for some reason
No,
I
you're
thought
good.
I've got there, but no, all good.
It's kind of fascinating that the mere instance of a Māori word sends one of our candidates into a rant against Māori being involved in decision making. So kaitiakitanga, in my view, means making mokopuna decisions. That is decisions which ensure long-term sustainability and community benefit. Mokopuna, for those who don't know, means children, grandchildren. So it's simple. As a councillor, I'll be more focused on long-term benefits I'll start again. I would be more focused on long-term benefit of investments as opposed to my electability in 3 years' time. A wise man plants a tree knowing he'll never sit in its shade. Government means doing what's right by nature and right by those who will inherit our city.
Okay, now let's get on to hard-hitting question number 3. What is your position on retaining Rotorua Lakes District Council Te Ipu Wai Auraki Māori Ward, and why do you hold that position? And Brendan, you get to go first.
Māori wards. I think Rotorua is a unique place with Māori wards. I think the Mayor Tapsell has said that she didn't want them. I think the reason that is because most of the Māori people are not on the Māori wards. So there's a small population on the Māori wards, and I believe it's not a true reflection of what Māori people want. I believe that we have had plenty of elections with no Māori wards, and we have plenty of Māori representation. So I think the council is unique, and that is again a couple of Māoridom, and that we have and always will have Māori people on council. So I think Māori wards are probably not needed here because only a small portion of people are being allowed to vote in the Māori wards because no Māori people are on the Māori wards.
Okay, Ryan.
Changing it up. I think that the referendum on Māori wards is quite disappointing that it only includes Māori wards and doesn't consider the rural ward. Many rural ward candidates are not happy only having one vote around the table, and I think the referendum would have provided a great opportunity to do exactly that. The Local Government Act means that we must ensure Māori participation in decision making. I think it's a question if a Māori ward is the best way to achieve exactly that. Just getting a Māori elected, does that mean that all Māori are actually represented in decision making? Which is why I think it's disappointing that we're going through a referendum to make these type of decisions. In an ideal world, we'll be waiting for a review to fully understand how Māori participation can be included in decision making in a way that works for Rotorua, not for some political agenda pushed out of central government.
Okay, Robert.
Yeah, I, for 2 reasons, don't support the continuation of a Māori ward. One, it's not in the best interests of Māori, and 2, it's not in the best interests of the rest. It diminishes democracy. In the first instance, I'll rely on Councillor Tanya Tapsell's arguments that she made in 2021 when she argued against a Māori ward. She noted that there were 4 Māori sitting on that council, and she's since noted that now that we have a 3-seat Māori ward, there's actually only 3 Māori sitting on this council. So she would argue that it hasn't worked out well for Māori. In fact, better representation without a Māori ward. I would argue that it makes the Māori ward councillors democratically accountable only to Māori voters, and I think we are required to all act in the best interests of the whole district, so that would align the democratic incentives as it should.
Okay, Philly.
But I really hope that this referendum brings more people out to vote, to have their voice heard about how the council is informed in the future. I support Māori ward seats, as I support and value Māori voice, knowledge, and full community representation at the table.
Okay, so we're at that part of the show today where it's closing statements, and each candidate will give a 1-minute closing statement of why they should receive one of the 6 ticks to be voted. Philly, you get to go first.
Oh, I'll find my notes.
That's all good. That's all good.
I wasn't ready.
That's what random order sheets do. Keep everyone on their toes.
Rotorua is at a turning point, and the choices we make in the next 3 years will shape our city for generations. I am standing because I believe I'm a great representation for you on council, and I will always lead with people, place, and purpose at the heart of every decision. People, our community, our families, our retirees, our young people deserve safe, vibrant communities, affordable housing, and opportunities to succeed. Our place, our lakes, our forest, our roads, our public spaces must be cared for and invested in so Rotorua remains a place that we are proud to call home. Purpose. Every single dollar must be wisely spent with transparency and discipline to build a sustainable future. I bring governance experience, community connection, a commitment to listen and to act with integrity. Together, we can build a thriving Rotorua that is resilient, one that honours our past, meets today's challenges, and creates opportunity for tomorrow. Kia ora, my name is Philly Angus. I would appreciate your support and your vote for people, for place, and for purpose. Vote Philly Angus, your voice at council. Ngā mihi.
Okay, thank you for that, Ryan.
So I think that we've seen tonight that we have a bit of a stark choice between who you want to elect. I'm standing on a platform of moving Rotorua forward. We all know that Rotorua is one of the most beautiful places in the country. The lakes, the forests, the people, and our culture that attract millions of visitors every year. And it's a place I'm proud to call home, but it could be even better. Everybody deserves the opportunity to thrive. Council needs to get the basics right. Sensible planning to enable more homes in the right places, investing in quality public space and parks to be proud of, building infrastructure to ensure our children inherit a city ready for the future. We also need strategies to put downwards pressure on rates. I believe that Rotorua can be the best place to raise a family, start a business, and get ahead. As a councillor, I'd be unafraid to acknowledge the issues we're facing, but be relentlessly focused on enduring solutions which improve our city for all. With extensive experience in business, community, and public sector locally and internationally, I know how to deliver and get things done. Vote Ryan Gray for a better Rotorua.
Okay. Robert.
Yes. So in 2022, at the previous election, Rotorua voted for change. They voted for 7 new councillors out of 10. I was one of those, and I have made some progress towards changing and moving away from that particular era. I think tentatively at first, but more enthusiastically as this term has progressed, our council has gone sliding backwards into the kind of politics that epitomised the previous era. So I've been working hard to bring about the change over the last 3 years, and I'd like to bring us forward as a city to a whole new place of thriving and freedom and gloriousness for our wonderful city.
Okay, and Brendan.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm standing for the council. I'm a hard worker. I believe in honesty, integrity, and being open. And I think that's what this council needs to do. It has started to open up a little bit. People can have their voice now at council a little bit more. I want to encourage that more. But what are we suffering? It's not looking good. It looks not clean. It looks really shoddy, actually. And it needs to be taken a step further. It needs to be really cleaned up. It needs action. And I'm the man to do that. I'm going to be fighting for you guys. I'm going to keep and try and cap the rates. I'll be pushing that big time. So it's affordable. The other thing is tourism will come in. Businesses will move. And let's sort out the parking, which has been a nightmare for businesses, for the inner city, for everybody. So let's get things done. You want it done? I'm your man. Bye.
Thank you for that, and thank you for our candidates for participating on It's in the Ballot. It's not easy to jump in front of a camera to sit down there and put your views across to the world for everyone, not just to see now, but to see right up until election day. But thank you for sitting there doing it. Can I thank our audience members for participating in the show? And can I also thank Henry in studio, Paul, who's doing remote editing, Stacey, who's done the graphics, Laura, who's done the posters and the social media advertising, Helen for doing the questions, Carol for doing the playing card social media aspects of of it to sit there and bring these shows. I'd like to say that It's in the Ballot Productions. We're an independently funded non-profit organisation run on small dollar donations. Today's cost to run these It's in the Ballot shows has cost $450 to run it for the venue hire, $14 for the Starlink internet connection, $31 for the Restream hosting services, $100 for fuel, and $50 for refreshments. I'd also like to thank Bay of Plenty Regional Council for providing $500 to help with the running costs of today's shows. But if you'd also like to sit there and help, you can donate to us on our it'sintheballot.nz and click on donate here and put a direct credit deposit into a bank account. That gets there the quickest with the least fees. If you're on Eventbrite, you can also get a koha ticket or a koha without admission option that can sit there and help run the costs of these events. If you're also, you can do a give a little donation on there and put a give a little donation into our show. If you're watching on YouTube, you can do a YouTube super chat if you're watching live, or if you're watching afterwards, you can do a YouTube super thanks, and that can help fund for it. And I am wearing one of the 2025 It's in the Ballot shirts. If you'd like to buy that, you can head to our I think we've got the link in the description to Print Mighty, who is our t-shirt manufacturer, who who can have these shirts printed on demand and chucked on the courier, usually within 48 hours after ordering for that. So that's it from here. We'll be back at 7 p.m. for the Rotorua mayoral debate. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you at 7 p.m. Can you hit the closing credits key, please, Henry?